What's up, guys? Today we're going to be looking at the top 5 cities to move to if you're still looking for a cheap house in 2021. Now, I did do a part 1 to this video. It is a top 10 list. However, I decided to break it up into 2 videos because that video was already 13 and a half minutes long edited, and this one's probably going to be about the same. And I didn't want to make that into a over 30-minute video. So I decided to split it up just for the sake of time because I know people have smaller attention spans now. So I decided to do that. So today we're going to be going over the top 5. A 10 through 6 was last week. Today is going to be 5 through 1. So let's kind of get into it. If you're wanting to check out that video, there will be a link to a card right above here, and you can take that and go look at the previous video, which is going to show you the top 10 through 6, and then you can just come back over here and see what it's all about, the top 5. Now, still being in the top 5, still being in the top 10 is going to be good because, there's a lot of cities in the U.S., and even being in that top 10 is awesome. If you're expecting any California city to be on this list, then you, my friend, are crazy. Even where I live here in the desert, where it consistently reaches above 110, still not going to find anything below 300,000. So the best places to be looking for cheap houses is in that Midwest South region. So that's where we're going to be sticking. So let's get right into it. Number 5, Decatur, Illinois. According to Wikipedia, 70,000 people are estimated to be living in Decatur in 2019. The U.S. Census Bureau classified this as in the top 15 fastest declining cities. In the past 10 years, it's lost about 5,400 people, which if you think about major cities, that's not a whole lot that you're losing. However, obviously this is a declining city. So if that concerns you, kind of stay away from it. But the reason that I picked this is for housing costs. That's how we're ranking this list. And because of that declining city aspect, that's probably why houses are so cheap. Now, if being a declining city concerns you, this may be something you want to steer clear of. But the reason why this probably fits in the top 5 is because it is a declining city. And that's why houses are cheap. You want to cater to people. You want to get people to move to your city. So houses are going to be less expensive than places that are more desirable. The economy of Decatur is based largely on manufacturing and agricultural commodity processing. It's home to the Tate & Lyle's, the largest compressing plant and designed headquarters for the Caterpillar machinery. So if you're familiar with Caterpillar, they're the big giant yellow machines that you probably see on the side of the road working on the roads or in some sort of cornfield or industrial place. Those are the machines that this headquarters was currently in. As far as temperatures go, it reaches a max high average of about 87 and a max low average of a 19. Neighborhood Scout ranks this as the 13th largest community in Illinois. It has about an 18-minute average commute time, which is very relatively low for the country. 20% of the adults have a college degree. The per capita income for Decatur is about $26,600. Manufacturing and healthcare are the largest employers here in Decatur. About 22% of the people live below the poverty line in this city. Violent crime out of 1,000 in the city is about 5.4, and in the state it's about a 4.1. They have a 24% lower reading and math proficiency than the state average, and so that puts them quite a bit below. And this is why maybe this city is lacking and needing people, and why housing prices are so inexpensive as well. A nice home will run you about $120,000, and if you're looking for a turnkey, you're gonna have to go right outside the city, and those you can find for about $200,000. If you're looking for a little bit more of a breakdown of how I got this info and where I got it from and everything like that, I will be linking sources down below. However, if you go to my last video, which I linked at the beginning, but I'll also link in the description, I go over how I got these stats and how I came up with the definitions of the words I'm using. Coming in at number 4, we have Peoria, Illinois. Peoria is the largest city on the Illinois River. It's the oldest European settlement in Illinois. It was established in 1691, originally known as Fort Clark. Currently, the Caterpillar National and Global Headquarters is located in Deerfield, Illinois. However, previously, before 2018, it was located in Peoria. There is a max high average of about an 86 here and a max low average of about 17 degrees. Neighborhood Scout says that Peoria has more people working on computers and math than 95% of the country. So you're a very techie person, then this might be some place that you want to check out for possible jobs or a career. The commute time in Peoria is about 18.7 minutes, which is still pretty relatively low for the country average. The per capita income is about $34,500. About 35% of the population has at least a bachelor's degree, which is pretty substantial. I'll look up what the national average is here. So to shed a little bit of light on this, the U.S. average for the entire population between 2015 and 2019, the percentage of people who had a bachelor's degree, at least a bachelor's degree, was 32.1%. In the city of Peoria, we have a 35% of the population has at least a bachelor's degree. So above the national average, which is good information. Healthcare and manufacturing are the highest employers. A violent crime rate per 1,000 people is in the city, it's about a 10.5, which is one of our highest ones so far, and then the state is about a 4.07. Reading and math proficiency is about 30% higher in the city than the state, which is really awesome as well. That probably has to do with the 35% of this population having a bachelor's degree as well, because if you're doing well in school, most likely your kids are probably going to do well in school. Nice homes go for about $120,000. You could definitely find some lower. However, this is kind of the average that I came up with, is about 120K. You should probably expect that. But the turnkey prices are probably just outside the city, about $230,000 for one of those. We're in the top three now. Number 3, Springfield, Illinois. Now, I didn't write a whole lot about this one, but it's the home of Abraham Lincoln. It's the most diverse place to live in Illinois, according to niche.com. It has a max high average of about an 86 and a max low average of about 19. According to Neighborhood Scouts, the per capita income is about $34,600. About 85% of the workforce is in white-collar jobs. About 85% of the workforce is in white-collar jobs, and it has a very short relative daily commute of about 19 minutes. A violent crime out of 1,000 is about 8.03 for the city of Springfield and about a 4.07 for the state. A pretty nice house in this area is about $120,000. But a turnkey is about $300,000. That's going to be farther outside the city. Number 2 on our list is Youngstown, Ohio. Youngstown, Ohio is the 7th largest metro in Ohio. It's about 61 miles away from Pittsburgh and about 65 miles away from Cleveland. The max high average in this area is about an 81, and the max low average is about 19 degrees. The average relative humidity is about 72.5. Pretty high. This is going to be the home of the Youngstown Business Incubator. It houses several startup tech companies, and it continues to provide this space for these companies to work in and really gain a footing so that they can make a difference in our world. On Neighborhood Scout, about 35% of the people live below the poverty line. The per capita income is about $18,600. So according to Neighborhood Scout, it's a very diverse area. The per capita income is about $18,600. 35% of the people live below the poverty line. Violent crime out of 1,000 in Youngstown is about 6.83, and the state is about a 2.93. A good home goes for easily under $100,000. Turnkeys, you have to go out of the city, but it's about $300,000. They're really tough to find in general because, honestly, I was just looking around and there wasn't a whole lot that really was very intriguing to look at. I did see a new construction in the area for $280,000, so that would kind of classify, but just thought I'd let you know that information. Coming in at number 1 on our list, keeping it in the same state, Bloomington, Illinois. Now, Bloomington and Youngstown did both have homes that were sub $100,000. The reason that I ranked Bloomington higher than Youngstown is because of the per capita income. Bloomington is about 135 miles southwest of Chicago and about 162 miles northeast of St. Louis. Originally, it brought settlers in the 1830s due to its rich soil, and there's still a lot of farming today. It is home to the State Farm Insurance Company. A lot of public schools in the area are a grade A on niche.com. It has a max high average of about an 87 and a max low average of about 15 degrees. It does get an average of about 3.5 inches of rain per month. That's a lot for me to think about because I live in the desert and we get about maybe like 2 inches a year. So that's a lot. 3.5 inches a month is a lot. Neighborhood Scout says that about 85.5% of the workforce is working in white-collar jobs. Many people consider Bloomington to be a great place to live. That's not a big city. It has so many people in a young age range, about the 20s to 30s, and lots of opportunity for fun. The average commute time is about 17.2 minutes. The per capita income is more than double what Youngstown's was. $38,000 is the per capita income. Violent crime per 1,000 is in the city about a 5.1, and in the state it's about a 4.07. Children's math and reading proficiency is lower than the state by 10%, but Bloomington still spends about $3,000 more per student than the national average. You would think that spending more money than the national average and achieving less results is pretty surprising. I'm pretty surprised. Maybe they just started doing this. I'm not super sure, but at least they're spending a lot of money on student education. A nice home definitely costs sub $100,000. A turnkey is about sub $250,000. So that's it, guys. That's my list of the top 10 cities to move to in 2021 if you're still looking for a cheap house. Now, it's really hard to find that now, and I understand. Currently, I'm looking to move out of state too, and that's what kind of drew my interest to this whole subject. If I even made you think about considering these options or considering moving out of state due to the opportunity that presents itself out in these areas, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. I love making it for you guys. It took a lot of hard work, so if you could help me out and like this video, maybe even consider subscribing, I would really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.